City News everywhere.
There's a saying that goes, anything about us without us means nothing to us. And I think that's really a strong message to the Premier.
I just find it extremely disrespectful and a lost opportunity.
Indigenous leaders accusing Manitoba's newest Premier of a misstep on her first day as a leader, as they say not a single Indigenous organization was invited to her swearing-in ceremony.
If we are going to do something about us, and it doesn't include us, it's not going to work. I mean, it's not going to have that meaningful relationship.
MKO Vice Chief David Munius watched Manitoba's first female Premier Heather Stefanson get sworn in from a computer screen, as did AMC's Grand Chief Arlen Dumas.
The outgoing Premier left a bit of a stain on the relationship with First Nations, and I think that the incoming Premier has an opportunity to create some true innovation.
That innovation, in Vice Chief Munius's mind, could be entering the swearing-in ceremony accompanied by drum songs.
To be a part of this historic moment and say, you know what, we stand with the Indigenous people, and the Indigenous people are standing with her. That would have been a great introduction as a Premier, I believe.
And while the past can be an inspiration, it can also create and reopen wounds.
Stefanson began the ceremony with a land acknowledgement and a blessing from clan mother and elder Billy Shibler. Stefanson then listed her priorities, starting with advancing reconciliation, and wrapped her speech by stating that the government had to step aside to allow youth and Indigenous companies to grow.
I look forward to learning from Indigenous Manitobans and working together to heal the wounds of the past and forge a new path forward.
City News reached out to the office of the Premier Wednesday, who emphasized that no government stakeholder or outside group were invited to the ceremony, thus no one was intentionally slighted or left out. A statement reads, in order to comply with public health orders and capacity limits, Premier Stefanson was joined by a small group of her family, friends, and colleagues for yesterday's swearing-in ceremony.
It's her prerogative how she would like to have her swearing-in ceremony conducted, I think that what we want to really see is some teeth to the reconciliation talk that's coming out of this new government, or this change in the premiership.
MKO sent a letter to the Premier on Wednesday congratulating her on her new role and inviting her to the next MKO Assembly on November 16th. MKO, AMC, and SCO say attending these meetings of Indigenous leaders would be a great step in the right direction. In Winnipeg, Mike Albanese, City News.